Ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell from the fact that we are standing in an alley right now, it's Gamescom 2012, and we just got a chance to check out the first game of the show, and that was Assassin's Creed 3. It was a follow-up to the naval battle of E3, and this was another naval battle. This one not set in the Caribbean, this one set in the Chesapeake Bay, so we get to see another section of America during the Revolutionary War, the whole sort of DC, Virginia, Maryland area.
And we got to see a few more of the boat mechanics up close, got to a little bit more explanation on how they work. And
yeah, exactly. So what did you think of this demo here? I thought it was interesting because as the battle progressed from the beginning to the end, the whole Chesapeake Bay area became more and more of like a terrifying war zone. It was very hazy.
Yeah, the scene and the theatrics are really awesome. Like when the boats come by and they're both on the broadside, and you light them up with the cannons, and there's like little flecks of wood going everywhere, things catching on fire, and like there's just cannons going off all around you, and boats are exploding all over the place. It's very grandiose.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, so for me as an Assassin's Creed fan, somebody who's played the hell out of each game so far, I approach these sort of vehicle sections of the game with a little bit of caution because they've never been the strength of the series. So it's interesting to hear Steve Masters, the lead designer, say, you know what? We're going to introduce the naval sections of the game to you in a story mission, and after that, it's a little bit more hands-off. You can return to these in some side quests later on, but from that point onward, they're really optional whether you want to continue to go at the naval stuff.
That seems like kind of a brave decision on the developer's part, because usually if you're going to put that much time into building this sort of system again, you want to make sure the player's there playing it every chance you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I will say that it felt a lot different from some of the vehicle sections that we've seen in previous Assassin's Creed games. You have a lot more control over these boats. You're actually piloting the boat and aiming the cannons and guns at the same time. After we got to check out that new demo in there, I actually went hands-on with the older E3 one.
I was going to say, the boat, while the scene looked amazing, handling the boat looked kind of clunky and heavy. Like, how did it feel?
So it all kind of depends. There's a few different factors, actually. There's a weather system that'll change as the battle progresses. It can be pretty flat and, placid seas, and at that point, you can pilot pretty easily. But as the battle goes on, it becomes a raging ocean, this sort of like typhoon almost.
I know, that's definitely what we saw in the demo with all the rocking and the bouncing up and down.
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy, but you can counteract that with a few different things. One, you have control over the sail. So the sail is either completely down and you're still, it's halfway up, at which point you're going real slow, but you can maneuver really easily. You can essentially turn on a dime. It's an exaggerated form of boat control. Or you have the sail all the way up, and that's when you're really chasing down guys. And it's interesting the way you fire. You have two different weapons. You have a regular gun for sort of sniping at boats from far away. You don't do a lot of damage, but you can sort of slowly pick them off from a distance and let them know, hey, I'm here. I'm coming for you. It's mental warfare.
That's right.
Or you can switch to different types of cannon fire, and at that point, you hold down the button and you see this sort of large swath of the ocean that turns white, and that's where you know that you're targeting. And essentially anything to the immediate side of you is going to be bombarded with cannon fire.
Lit up.
And you can actually switch between different types of cannons. You can do like the ones with a bunch of small pellets, which is essentially buckshot. You can do the bigger cannons, or you can do the hooks, which is like two different cannons attached to each other on chains. And that's sort of the non-lethal kill.
Okay.
You fire that at their sails to disable them from going anywhere.
Out.
At that point, you jump on their ship and you go pirate style and you start killing all of them, which we saw Connor do at the end of that Chesapeake Bay.
And you were sort of touching on the mechanics of the boats. Masters did mention that as the player character, you're going to have access to one central boat that you're going to keep going back to and leveling up and upgrading and unlocking. You can upgrade the boat. So you buy new types of ammunition. You can actually put new types of armor on the side of the boat. And I'm gonna guess that you can probably put like a sweet custom sail on there that says Connor's boat, do not mess. I know, I hope I can get like a sweet dragon and some flames along the side of my boat.
The equivalent of doing like spray paint on the side of your van.
Pretty much. Do you remember when they said release date?
I believe this is coming out in October, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
There you have it. That's your update on Assassin's Creed 3. Here at Gamescom 2012, we're totally in Germany right now.
It's really
not
happening.
in an alley in San Francisco. I mean, that's a German motorcycle, right? I think so. Thanks for watching.
We're out of here.